This is going to be hard-hitting, impactful. We're going to cover a lot of valuable information as it relates to getting your property sold on Facebook, Instagram, generating some buyer leads on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to do all that within minutes. So I'm excited you decided to join me today. This is for you. This is all about you. This is how can we help you move the needle in your business today, especially during the current state we're in. I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to have some slides and then I'm going to get hands-on. So this is all about selling our listings and generating buyer leads. I'm Aaron Lacey. I'm a psychology-driven digital marketing coach for real estate and a business strategist. I've devoted my entire adult life to real estate, helping agents grow their business. And that's really the name of the game for me. I work with a company called My Home. If you want to connect with me, connect with the person that invited you this, and they can facilitate getting us together. And then if you're part of a brokerage, a team, an association, and I'm happy to do some trainings and coaching for you and your teams. Yesterday, I spoke at the Women's Council of Realtors state conference. I'm consistently speaking, even on national level, for brokerages, on local level. So whether you have a small 3-person team or a brokerage, happy to connect with you and provide some value in these areas and even in areas outside of this. Okay. And then just so you know, this is my team right here. These are my team of nerds. We call ourselves the hashtag marketing technology nerds. And all we do is help agents across the country grow their business. So this is me and my team here. A phenomenal group of individuals with diverse backgrounds, all helping real estate agents grow their business. So here we are. Here's our objectives for today. Number one is I want to show you what the perfect home ad looks like for Facebook and Instagram. That's number one. Number two, how to target the ideal audience. And I'm going to share with you some data that's going to be pretty informative for you, insightful for you, that shows you where people are moving from to come here so that we can target them in their home state so that we can find, again, so we can get our homes sold. So I'm assuming number one is we want to get homes sold. And so maybe you've got a home that you haven't been able to sell yet, or you've got an upcoming listing. So let's get our listings sold. Number one. Number two is how can we also generate buyers at the same time? And then if we have time, I may even share with you some other types of ads you can use to generate and attract those buyers and generate buyer leads. Okay. So we're going to cover the perfect home ad, targeting the ideal audience. We're going to cover a 2-step process for generating leads, and then how to convert, and really the best way to convert leads into closings. So those are the 4 objectives for you today. That's what I want you to walk away with today, is really understanding what this opportunity looks like, how you can use it, and maybe some tweaks, some ways to optimize what you've done in the past now that you have learned some new information, maybe a new strategy, a new way of doing things. Okay. Awesome. And by the way, this is all going to be hands-on, but in essence, this is the format for the perfect home ad, right? The kind of the perfect home ad. So that's what we're going to dive into today, is crafting that perfect home ad. What does that look like? How do we craft that? Where do we go to do that? I want to make it all very clear for you in a step-by-step process on how you can go right to social media, right to Facebook, and advertise your listings, your properties. Now, you may also be working with another agent that gives you permission to market or advertise one of their listings. This would work in the exact same way. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And here's where I'm going to land. I'm going to land on what's called the Meta Business Suite. So we're going to jump right into the Meta Business Suite. Now, this might be new for you if you've never seen this before. The Meta Business Suite is a platform that's provided by Meta, which of course Meta is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. And it allows you to manage your social media from one location, from one dashboard. And when I say manage your social media, I'm just talking Facebook and Instagram, because again, it's owned by Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. But if you have a Facebook business page, if you have an Instagram business or creator account, you can manage those all from here. Even if you have multiple business pages or multiple Instagram business or creator accounts, you can manage them all from one location. The reason I love this platform is because it allows me to see my notifications for all of those profiles all in one location. It allows me to communicate and respond to people that message me, whether through Facebook Messenger or Instagram direct message, and even people that comment on any of my posts. It allows me to respond to them all from one centralized inbox, which makes this so much easier, makes social media so much easier. You'll see a content location. This allows me to view my posts and find out which ones are getting the most views, which ones are getting the most engagement. It allows me to even boost those posts right from one location. You'll also see planner. This allows me to dive in and actually plan posts weeks and months in advance. And I like this because it's connected to the Facebook platform, Instagram platform. So this content, right? Anything I schedule from here, it still resonates with the Facebook and Instagram algorithm. In other words, it still performs really well. It doesn't get penalized in a similar way that you posting from some of these other social media posting platforms will penalize you. We found in the past. Okay. So this doesn't do that. And here's what I like too. You can go out a month or two in advance. Let's just say here we are in April. April 9th is Easter. I can click on the plus sign here. I can schedule a post, schedule a story. I can create a reel from here, or even schedule an ad into the future. Also on the left-hand side, I'm going to go back to the Meta Business Suite dashboard. But on the left-hand side, you're going to see ads under planner, and then you're going to see insights under ads. Okay. And what I like about insights is it gives you really good information on who and where and how people are engaging with your profiles and your content on social media. So it allows you to make informed decisions on you continually creating and improving your content strategy. Okay. And then if we click on all tools, you're going to see 5 categories that are displayed here. You're going to see create, right? We can create content. We can go live right from the Meta Business Suite. We see engage audience. We see analyze and report, sell products and services, manage, and then advertise. Okay, so we're going to get into the advertisement piece here today, but I just wanted to make you aware of what's available with the Meta Business Suite. And in fact, I have a full separate training just on the Meta Business Suite because I think this is such a valuable location for you, especially if you're using social media in your business. So here's where I want to start off for us today. What we're going to do is, again, we're going to go to Meta Business Suite. On the left-hand side, we're going to click on ads. And what Meta Business Suite has done is they've really expanded their most basic ad platform so that it really makes it a challenge for those of you that are a little more advanced with advertising on social media. Maybe you're familiar with the ads manager, right? There's a pretty solid crossover between just the basic ad system and the full-blown advanced ads manager platform. And I would argue that you may not even need to spend near as much time there, if even use that moving forward based on the functionality that's available just by clicking on ads right here. And let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so here's the first thing we're going to do is we're going to assume that you've got a property that you want to sell, and we're going to get that property sold. Okay, and we're going to target the perfect audience for you that is in the area and even outside of the area. And I'm going to share with you something that I don't think that you're aware of quite yet, especially with regards to audience targeting. Okay. In other words, who do we want to put, whose newsfeed do we want to put this post in the newsfeed of? Okay. All right, you guys. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and click on ads, and we're going to click on create ad in the top right. Now you're going to see on the left-hand side, automated ads, choose a goal, or boost existing content. We're going to click on choose a goal. And then what goal do we want? And you'll notice here, we have the option to boost. We have the option to get more traffic. We have the option to get more leads. Okay. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to click on the get more leads option. So we're going to click get more leads. And then the system's going to ask us, where do we want to collect our contact info for these leads? Like, where do we want it to go? We're going to say on Facebook. Okay. On Facebook. Now, here's what it's showing us. It's saying, okay, go ahead and create your contact form. And this is that lead capture form. okay? Because we want to grab contact information. So what we'll do is we're going to click on create new form. We're going to name our form. So we're going to pretend like we have a home in Arcadia that we're going to advertise. Okay. So we're going to say Arcadia home form. Okay. And contact information, it says, what information do you want to ask for? I'm going to just simply ask for the name, email, and I'm going to also include phone number there. Just so you're aware, there are additional fields we can ask for, and we can even ask our own custom questions here. Okay. Now, what custom questions might we ask? You may ask questions like, within how many months do you plan to buy a home? Or do you need to sell your current home before buying? Okay. So we can ask those questions right here if we want to. Here's a sample of what our form looks like. And when we're done, we're just going to simply click on next. Again, this is the form that's going to capture the lead for us when we advertise this home. Okay. So I'll click on next here. Now it takes us to our second step, and that's the add creative step. And here's where we tell Facebook exactly what we want our advertisement to look like. Okay. So this is where I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add information in the description, which shows up above the actual post itself, and then the headline, which shows up underneath. Now you'll notice by default, it just pulled in information from my business page. So I need to update this. I need to change this. Now I'm going to share with you a few tricks here that we found that really work well. Okay, that really work well in grabbing somebody's attention. Okay. Now here's what I want to do. I'm going to actually just go right to facebook.com. Okay, to Facebook. And I want to share with you what this looks like, right? As somebody scrolling through their news feed, most people don't realize that advertising on social media is a disruptive ad technique. Why is it disruptive? The reason for that is because I'm not on social media looking for homes. Okay. But as I scroll through my news feed, the advertisements disrupt my scroll, right? So this is a disruptive ad technique. So what do we need to do to disrupt somebody, to just cause them to stop, pause on their scroll, take notice, read what we have to say, and then take action? Okay. And let me remind you too that social media, don't be confused. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, all these other social media platforms, they're less social media platform and more ad platforms. Facebook is an $800 billion company because it sells advertisements just like this in this same way. Okay. So these are ad platforms. So the name of the game here is, how can we get someone that's scrolling through the news feed to stop and pay attention to our post? And you'll notice that every 4th to 5th post in your news feed is a sponsored post. Yeah, here's one that just popped up. It was the second post in my newsfeed. So let's head on back to the Meta Business Suite. Let's go ahead and start with the description. What are we going to add to a description that's going to get somebody to stop what they're doing and pay attention? So here's what I like. This is, again, the ideal or perfect home ad description. It's going to have 3 main parts. The first part is the attention grabbing, what I would consider just an attention grabbing headline using emojis. Okay. And where do I get these emojis? I get these emojis from emojicopy.com. Emojicopy.com is where I get these emojis. And I start off with my attention grabbing headline. Okay. In the description box. So it's always something like this. In brackets, potentially with emojis, I'm going to say something like new listing alert, new home on the market, coming soon, just listed, luxury home in. Now you choose the emojis that you want to accompany this headline with, this first part with, but this usually grabs people's attention and then they want to stop and they want to read more. Okay. And then that very first line after the thing that gets people to stop, that's going to be the sensational, exciting, emotion evoking sentence that captures me and causes me to want to read more. So in this case, stunning contemporary gem in Pomelo Estates near Arcadia. And I'm using hashtags because, not because it's going to make this ad more discoverable, but because if you notice on the right-hand side, see the preview of the ad, it actually makes that verbiage stand out. Okay. It turns it into another color. And so it just makes it stand out. Okay. And that's what we want. You guys, this is us disrupting their scroll, causing this information to stand out to get them to want to consume more of the information that's in this ad and then take action. All right. I'm going to add my second element to the description, and that's going to be the features. And what features am I going to add? I'm going to consider this property. I'm going to consider this a dating profile. So I'm going to come right out of the gate with grabbing somebody's attention. Then I'm going to give them my best features. I'm not going to tell them that this property needs a new roof or that it's maybe just a 3-2, right? I'm going to tell them that it's got a chef's kitchen, or it just had a full remodel, or it's got really unique flooring or unique countertops, or what are those highlights that we can really showcase. And you'll also notice that I started this section off with this emoji here. And then I'm splitting up all the features of the home with these emojis. Okay. And you'll notice how that looks over here on the right-hand side. Again, this is the live preview. Okay. Notice, see how that's coming together here. So I only include my top 4 or 5 features for this home. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish off with a call to action. Okay. So we want a call to action. It's important that we ensure that we add a call to action. So now here's the thing, your call to action might change depending on whether you have photos or a video. Here's what I would say. Let me just stop for a second and let me talk to you about photos versus videos for your ads. We're finding that videos are stopping people's scroll 2.5 times more frequently than photos. So videos are more captivating, they're more attention grabbing, videos are more effective. So if you have a property video, use that property video versus using 3 or 4 photos for that property. Okay. And here's the other thing that I would mention with regards to the video. If you have a videographer go out and video a home, what I want for you to do is I want to, number one, make sure that you're in that video, especially at the beginning, because I want you to build brand awareness with your audience right out of the gate. I want them to see your face, even hear from you. The second thing is I want them to create 2 different versions of that video. The first version is, let's say they use some sort of aerial, a drone, circle the home, come down to the front door, stop right there. Okay. That's what we're going to use the advertisement. I want to pique people's interest so that they want to click through and consume more information for the property. Okay. And then on the back end of this ad, we're going to direct people to where they can view the entire video for the property. Okay. So again, just a tip, when you get videos done for properties, see if your videographer can do a teaser video that just piques someone's interest for 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe you're there introducing the property. And then as that virtual viewer reaches the front door, the door opens and the video ends. Just giving them, piquing their interest. We don't want to give away everything right in the ad. Now, there are some trains of thought that maybe we want to do the full virtual tour, virtual walkthrough right in the ad. If we do that, we're not going to generate any leads because there's not really going to be anything to offer them. Okay. So it's up to you on whether you want to do that. Maybe you just want to generate exposure for the property. You're not looking to lead generate. That's fine, because here's what we can do too with that exposure. We can take a screenshot of the ad performance, right? Of the results from the ad, where the ad says, well, yeah, we got in front of 8,500 people. We can screenshot that and we can send that to the homeowner and say, hey, look, we're marketing your property, right? Here's what we're doing to market it. Okay. So let's go back to the description here. So we've got the opening line to grab people, to hook them. We've got the features, and then we've got the call to action, whether it's click to view more photos, click to watch the full video. Okay. So you can say something like this: full video, price, and location. Okay. Here's the last thing you're going to want to input here. Add your name. So I see Sean's name first in my list. So I'm going to say Sean Queen, and then I'm just going to put a phone number. Okay. 602, right? 123 1234. Just in case They want to just make a quick call. Let's give them your contact information as well. Okay. All right, you guys, let's keep moving forward. Here's the second step here as we put together this perfect home ad is we're going to change out the media. Now, if we have a video, we're going to go ahead and click on select media, or if we have photos, we're going to click on select media. We're going to click on upload, and we're going to find our video. We're going to find our video. Now, I just had added a video. Actually, give me a second. Let me see if I can find that video here, and we'll go ahead and utilize that video if that's showing up here. So here's what I'd recommend. Use your video. If you don't have a video, then what you want to do is you want to use between 3 and 5 photos. 3 and 5 photos. Tina asked, don't we have to also add the brokerage name? Again, that's something that you want to check with your broker on, right? But for every post, what I would recommend is, to be safe, Tina, that might be a great point. Add the brokerage name under your name. Yeah, that might be a good way to do it. I have seen some documentation that says that you don't need to add your brokerage to every social media post as long as your brokerage logo is clearly visible on your social media profile, right? On the background photo or that cover photo at the top. Okay. Otherwise, you'd have to add your brokerage to every single post. And that's really all. This is simply a post. Okay. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and add some content in here or add my media. So I'm going to look for either a video or photos right on my desktop that I've got, wherever they might be. I don't see that video showing up for me. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just grab some existing photos that I already have. Okay. So let me find those photos here and we'll get rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Clear cut to it. We'll see how it goes.
And by the way, if anybody has any questions, now's a good time. Any comments? Okay. So I'm going to grab one, get that uploaded. I'm going to grab 2 and I'm going to grab 3. So I'll make sure that we've got some good photos added here. So you might not be seeing anything on your end, but we'll resume share here shortly. So I'm going to get 3 photos uploaded. Okay. All right. So we've got our photos. I'll go ahead and click on select, resume share. And I just uploaded those 3 photos. Okay. Okay. So again, can we only do this on a business page and not a personal page? That's a great question. Only a business page. So we can only advertise on social media in connection with either a Facebook business page or an Instagram business or creator account. Great question. Okay. Awesome, you guys. Okay. So we've got our images. Again, we could have selected a video. I've uploaded some images. We can change the headlines on each of these to actually reflect the front of home, right? Or we can use a little more fun language there too if we want. Okay. What we're going to do with button label, once we're done adding our media, is we're going to come here and we're going to click on learn more. You'll notice that this then changes the call to action that shows up over our images here. Okay. All right. Okay. And now we'll continue scrolling down. Now, here's the thing, you guys. If you've already made a post like this to your business page, I just want to make you aware that you could have selected that existing post. And it's hard to see here, but you'll see right here next to add creative. How do you want that ad to look? There's an option here, use a post. And we could have selected either a Facebook or an Instagram post that we've already created. Okay. This is a great way to actually advertise existing content that's actually maybe performed well. Let's say that you've created an Instagram reel and you want to expose your reel. You want to get more people in front of that reel and show that to a larger audience than just your followers or just your friends. What I would do is I would do exactly what we've already done. I'd click on use post. I'd click on Instagram post and then select your reel right from Instagram. Okay. Or maybe you've created a property reel. You just select that reel. Okay. You'll still have the option to do some editing to that. Okay. Now, here's one of the most important areas that we want to make sure we click on. And this is what most agents that have their ads denied don't do, is this right here. See special ad category? We need to make sure that we click on that, and that in the drop down, we select housing. So just remember that we are in a special ad category of housing, along with social issues, elections or politics, employment, and credit, right? We've all been lumped in there. So that's just to ensure that everybody's being treated well and we're all following the rules, right? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Samantha asked, is there a cost for Meta Business? No, there's not. No cost to this. Simply go to business.facebook.com. There's even a Meta Business Suite app that's available as well, where you can do most of this right from the app. This class is being recorded, and this will most likely become a replay. Okay. Ensuring I don't just totally do something to compromise this session. Here we go down to schedule and duration. You guys, we've got our start time, number of days, and our end time. Here's what I'd recommend for you. There's no point in advertising for less than 7 days. The reason for that is the Facebook and Instagram advertising algorithm doesn't really become effective and start really producing good leads for you until that 7, even 10-day mark. So you always want to go a minimum of 7 days on your ads. Okay. I would run a new listing ad for at least 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. So you get to start whenever you want, specify the number of days, and then end when you want. Okay. And now you get to control the budget right from here. So budget $35. Now this is the total budget. So this will be spread out over 7 days. So in other words, this platform is this ad's going to cost me roughly $5 a day for 7 days. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. One thing I want to make you aware of is right here under placements. Okay, just so you're aware, we can control where this ad shows up.
Yes, it's easy.
And check this out, you guys. Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. Okay, Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. Okay, we want it showing up where people are at. And since the average American adult is spending over 2 hours a day on Facebook and Instagram and other social media platforms, this is such a valuable opportunity for us. This is the modern day billboard. This is a modern day newspaper ad, magazine ad, radio ad, TV ad. Okay. Because this is where people are spending their time and attention. Again, over the average American adult. And by the way, over 90% of American adults are utilizing social media daily, are spending over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours a day on social media. Mind blowing. What are we all doing? But regardless, let's take advantage of that opportunity. You guys, that's it. So now that we're done with our ad, here's our ad right here. We'll click on promote now, promote now. Okay. And here's what happens. Now this ad immediately goes in the news feed. Excuse me, we actually need to do one more thing. We need to update our audience. This is step 2, finding the ideal audience for this property. Now, here's what I want to do. We're finding that there's a large opportunity to advertise in front of people that are moving to our state. Where are people moving from? Here's what I love about moving companies. Moving companies publish their migration map reports every year. They do national mover studies, like specifically allied movers. Okay. And this is such great data. We can actually see on a national level where people last year moved to Arizona, specifically the Phoenix area. And here's the number 1 location, Chicago, Illinois. The Seattle, Washington market, Portland, Oregon, Orange County, and San Diego. Okay. According to their study. Okay. So Chicago, Seattle, Portland, Anaheim, or Orange County area, and San Diego. So for us, if we want to get in front of potential buyers, I would say it's probably still a safe bet that we still have people moving in from those other areas. So that's where I'm going to target my ad. How do I do that? I'm going to come back over here, and under the area that I created the ad, and under special ad category, you're going to see audience. And it's easy to skip this. In fact, I almost just skipped it. What you want to do is you're going to see people in your details, and there's a little pencil icon. Here's a few things I want to share with you. Number one is we're going to be able to come in here and specify a location for this audience. Okay. So what we'll do is we're not going to be able to change the gender or the age. Okay. But we can update the location. And what we'll do is I'm going to type right in this location box. I'm going to type the word Chicago. And I'm going to choose the entire market area for Chicago. Okay. And then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to choose Seattle. Okay. I'm going to choose that entire metropolitan area. And I'm going to do the same thing for Portland. I'm going to choose the Portland metropolitan area. And now you'll see we're now advertising this property in multiple parts of the country. And of course, we can't skip out on the Phoenix area. Jim asked, why choose market instead of city? So the difference is if you choose city, it's going to place a radius around the city. For example, Salt Lake City here. And I don't know why Salt Lake City is even selected there, but let me just show you here. I'm going to scroll up. Let me type in Chicago. So if we do Chicago, you'll see it actually places a radius around Chicago, just a point in the city. And it's a 15-mile radius. Whereas if I choose the entire metropolitan area, it actually will choose an area with specific boundaries. Okay. Yep. So I like to use that feature a little more than just going with the specific city. Great question. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so once we're done grabbing our cities, and by the way, I can also drop a pin as well if I want. And additionally, I can even go outside of the United States if I wanted to as well. Okay. But again, I'm going to target areas that are sending a lot of people in our direction. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Save Audience. All right. Okay, guys. So now that we've done that, and we've set our schedule and our duration, we've set our budget, we know where the placements are, we can now go ahead and promote this. Is it worth it to increase the budget to 50 or more? Here's what I would say, you guys, regarding budget, think about it like this. If you were to advertise this property by mailing out postcards, the more money you spend, the more people it's going to get in front of. And additionally, let me share with you something else. As I scroll through my news feed, what's happening is the people that are paying the most, this is an auction-based advertising platform. Okay, Facebook, Instagram is. So the highest paying advertisers are the ones that are showing up first in my news feed. Okay, so the more money I pay, the more likely I am to be seen by the most valuable people with the most frequency. So you're going to get access to a larger audience by paying more. And in fact, you can even see an estimate right here of how many people you're going to reach every day based on your budget. So at $35 over 7 days, which is $5 a day, I'm likely to get in front of upwards of 876 people. Okay, they call it accounts center accounts, right? Which are essentially just Facebook or Instagram accounts. You'll also see our estimated daily results on the top right. 300 to 876 leads, 0 to 8. That's quite the spread there, right? So as I increase my budget, you'll see these numbers change. Just went from 800 to 900, and now leads just went from 0 to 8 to 1 to 9. So if I bump that up to 50, now we're going to potentially get in front of upwards of 1,100 people a day and generate somewhere between 2 and 12 leads a day for $50. Okay. And again, as we increase that, let's say we want to spend $100 total over 7 days, right? Which is roughly what, $15 a day. We'll potentially get in front of 1,700 people a day and upwards of 23 leads a day. Okay. Do the leads come through on the business page? Is there a way to link them to a CRM? Chelsea, great question. They come through into the leads manager here. And yes, there is a way to link those into a CRM. Absolutely. Yep. So I'm going to touch on that here. Actually, that's the next thing I'm going to touch on right now. Great question. So if we're all done Well, go ahead and click on promote now. Now, I'm just going to cancel out of this for now. Okay. But what's going to happen is when you want to check your leads, you'll need to have this window open and you'll need to simply click on refresh. Facebook's not going to notify you of new leads, but under the ads section, you'll see the option to have a leads box. By the way, you have to enable this little box to show up here. You're going to need to click on the settings right here and select leads under the show or hide metrics option. Okay. I know it's not ideal. The alternative to having to come here to download your leads is to connect your leads, either to have them emailed out of Facebook or texted to you, or dropped right into a CRM, KV Core, something like that. Okay. Or go right into Follow Up Boss. They can be dropped right into an email marketing platform like MailChimp or Constant Contact. Okay. Jim asked, would you recommend doing several smaller budget ads spread out over a few weeks, or one or two larger budget ads? I'd recommend the larger budget ads. The reason for that is the more money you spend with Facebook, the more likely they are to reward you, the better the leads they're going to give you. Okay. Unfortunately, that's just the name of the game. If you've ever advertised on Zillow or ever been part of their Premier Agent program or Flex program, right? Previous to the Flex program, the Premier Agent program, the more money you spent, the more leads you got, but also the better the leads, right? If you were one of those agents that was spending $3,000 to $5,000 plus on Zillow, and I know some agents that were spending $8,000, $10,000 with Zillow, they were getting all the best leads. It works the same way. Facebook's going to pick and choose on which leads it gives its advertisers, because you're not going to be the only person that's trying to find real estate leads on social, obviously. So it can round robin some of those. How would you set up to get a text? Let me share with you how you do that. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you're going to tap into a service called Zapier. Okay. Zapier essentially is going to connect Facebook to any other destination you want. Let me show you how that would work. So we're just going to, I'm going to type in, I'm going to go to Zapier.com, Zapier.com, and I'm going to, in the search box at the top, search for Facebook lead ads. Okay. Facebook lead ads. Now, here's what I can say. I can say, okay, as I have a new Facebook ad come in, or a new lead come in from my Facebook ad, I want that lead to go somewhere. I could have it emailed out. I could have it sent out via SMS, right? I could have it drop into MailChimp. I can have it drop into a Google Sheet, sent to me to my Gmail. I can have it, right, go to literally thousands of locations. Again, we might be utilizing KV Core. I can connect Facebook. I can have my Facebook ad connect to KV Core so that Zapier will send the information between my Facebook ad and KV Core automatically, so that when a new lead comes in, it creates a new contact in KV Core or whatever CRM I'm. Does that make sense, you guys? And it'll walk you right through that process. Or conversely, Thomas, you asked, how do you get a new text? Again, we searched at the top for Facebook. And then the second thing we would do here is we would click on SMS. So as a new lead comes into Facebook, we immediately get texted, send an SMS to a number, okay, with that lead information so that you can immediately follow up with them, okay? So that really takes me to my next topic, you guys. And again, I'm open to any questions, comments, and that is follow up and nurture, okay? So how can we ensure that we're converting these leads that are coming in? So again, first and foremost, we created the ideal or the perfect home ad. The second thing we did, we selected our audience based on great data that we have. Where are people moving to Arizona from? Okay, where are they buying from? The third thing is, how do we generate those leads? Well, we generate them by setting this ad up in a way that causes us to generate those leads. Remember, when we went to Meta Business Suite, we clicked on ads, we clicked on create ad, and we selected the get more leads option. That causes Facebook to collect a lead for us, okay, using their built-in lead capture system. The last thing I wanted to share with you is how to convert those leads. And so the first thing, and I love that Thomas is asking, how do I get Facebook to text me my lead when it comes in? The answer to that is we use Zapier. And there's a few other programs like Zapier, but this is my favorite one. And there is a cost associated with this. And I think it's around $25 a month. You're going to want to follow up with that lead within 10 minutes of receiving that lead. And ideally within 5 minutes. Okay. Now, here's what I wanted to share with you. There are services. If you're serious about this, maybe you're already doing this, you're already advertising. There are services like Structurally, which utilizes AI to automatically follow up with your leads immediately on your behalf via text message. Okay. So let's say that lead comes in. This system will intercept that lead, respond back to them on your behalf, acting as your virtual assistant. Okay. With a goal of getting an appointment set. Now, the appointment will either be a showing or a listing appointment. Okay. So that's the name of the game. Is from a conversion standpoint, number one is follow up. Number two is nurture. What system do you have in place to nurture those leads? When I say nurture, you obviously want to follow up with those leads yourself, above and beyond any automated system that you have. But where the conversion usually happens is after communication number 6. So let me just repeat that. When a new lead comes in, it takes usually 6 communications to them in order for us to actually get into a conversation with them. And once we get into a conversation with them, we're 80% likely within 2 years to turn them into a closed transaction. We only have a 10% chance of turning that lead into a closing if we don't get to that 6th communication to them. In other words, if we follow up once, twice, 3 times, 4 or 5 times, there's only a 10% chance of us turning that person into a closed transaction. Now it bumps up to over 80% once we get to communication number 6. And that's provided that they actually respond to us, you guys. So again, I want to set the right expectation that most of these leads will never turn into anything for you. Okay. They're not going to convert into any opportunity for you. In fact, we're seeing the people that are doing the best job of following up and nurturing and converting Facebook and Instagram leads are converting roughly 3% of their leads into actual opportunities. So 3 out of 100. As we're just getting started, it's going to be more like 1 out of 100 or even less. Okay. So you're going to have to generate 100 leads to turn 1 into an appointment that ends up transacting. Okay. So just a heads up, it's a numbers game, but it's a systems game. What kind of system do you have in place to make sure that these leads don't just fall to the wayside? Okay. So that's the name of the game with regards to the ad, the audience, generating leads, and converting the leads. For some of you, this was an introduction. For others, this was you taking your understanding of this to the next level.